Street Fighter 6 is out there, it's been released. We're still working on the game as always. I do want to hear, if anyone has any opinions about how the writing is and how the voices are. I've always been keeping track of that.
And again, Andrew, thanks for joining us, and to everybody for watching.
All right, that's going to do it for our pre-show. Thanks to everybody for joining us, and thanks to our guests, Alex, Andrew, and Clem.
Nothing else for the pre-show?
It's really great to talk to everybody and show off your content.
I just finished the Final Fantasy 16 demo. I fear we have a certified classic and Game of the Year contender on the way. Oh, wow.
Any parting words that you want to say?
Yeah, if you guys
is it only on... It's only on PlayStation, isn't it?
If you guys want one yourself, go to the Capcom Amazon store. So with that, we'll see you guys later.
Well, can't say I'll be playing that. Wish I could. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Really? That's really interesting. The countdown ticking. They did in fact say that. Oh wow. Oh wow. Suddenly I will not be playing Final Fantasy ever again. Just kidding. But wow. That's really that's really interesting. Guys, I would never say that. That clip of Aaron from Big Brother. Guys, I wouldn't. Oh, that's not. Yeah, aren't there literally like bunny girls and like, girl, I can't. That's so. Let me get my lip gloss. Oh. Sticky, sticky like lip gloss. I need to get a drink before we start this, because I'm not going to sit here for 30 minutes and not drink anything. Not like alcohol, but like, I need something to quench my thirst. Oh my god, really? That's crazy. I mean, I can't play it anyways, because isn't it like an exclusive? Hi, Bradionetta. It'll be on PC in a year. I mean, yeah, but... Just the dev? That's crazy. Let me get a drink. I wish I knew. Ding, ding, ding. Fuck, I have to get up again. Why is there an eyelash in my snack drawer? Hello, welcome back. Why is this so out of place? Guys, I made the asset with the wrong aspect ratio, but it's whatever. If it gets cropped off a little, it's no tea. The Final Fantasy discourse happening when I've only played 2 Final Fantasy games. And I have no idea what else happens. I've never been a stan, so... I played the game with the twink, and I played the game with Aerith. And that other twink.
Like I told you, I'm gonna get you home safe.
Is there nothing in this packet? Okay. One minute, get your bingo cards ready. Reset those bingo cards.
Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
I was gonna send stickers to anybody that wins a bingo card, but that'll happen next month because I'm not gonna be able to order stickers in time to like Nemesis Network stickers in time from Australia. But yes, you are resetting the bingo cards. This is a completely different VOD. Well, I had a little bit of this one left, like this much left of this one. a sale. Smorgasbord. I'm very excited to see you slaying it. Thank you for ordering. Love you. All right, it's the countdown. It's the final. Nope, copyright. Oh. Okay, let's see. Hi, Keith.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Capcom Showcase. Before we get started, we'd like to share that June 11th, 2023 marked Capcom's 40th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
A big thanks to everyone for playing our games. It's thanks to our amazing fans that we can celebrate such a milestone. We look forward to creating many more games in the years to come, and we hope that you'll continue to enjoy them.
And I will, because you guys barely
now
miss.
It's time to show off our latest titles at the Capcom Showcase.
Hello, house music.
Stay tuned until the end so you don't miss anything.
Oh,
Let's take a look at this video.
Yep, everybody get your bingo boards ready. Bingo boards are active. Reset your bingo boards and see if you can win some Nemesis Network stickers that will ship in a month because I'm leaving for Australia in a couple days. Oh. No cheating too. Trust. Could I win a hug? Absolutely not. Don't fucking touch me. Just kidding. We saw this the other day. I hope they give it a release date because it's very weird it didn't have a release date. Sticky and stinky. That's me. Oh, seen this footage anyway. Mark this footage before. We've seen it. Mark your bingo boards. Bingo boards out. That's the dinner bell. Okay, no shade, we literally saw this exact same trailer the other day. Capcom? Hello? It does look good. What show was this in? This is in the Xbox show? There have been so many shows in the last couple of days. I'm like, where are we?
Traditional Japanese aesthetics come to life through the power of RE.
If we see Warhaven today, everybody gets a bingo.
Action in this epic tale. A beautiful yet unsettling world of mystery awaits in Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess.
Goddess.
Xbox Series
That bitch
X,
is a goddess.
Xbox Series S,
The whip cracks.
PlayStation 5, and Steam. Mega Man X Dive Offline is coming to Steam, iOS, and Android.
Oh, I love playing games on my phone. I do.
The Deep Log, which holds collected memories of the Mega Man X series, is under attack.
Raise your hand if you've never played a Mega Man game.
Dive into cyberspace using hunter programs to recover data before it's too late.
Oh.
Play as Mega Man X and other characters from the Mega Man franchise, including characters that haven't been playable before.
I can play as all those characters? Oh, I might have to pick this up
Level up
then.
your favorite characters and equipment to create a powerful hunter. Power up your weapons and more to customize your character however you want. Mega Man X Dive Offline. Control and develop over 100
Mega Man
different
Gotcha.
characters. Play as a variety of characters, including new heroes created for Mega Man X Dive.
Oh, they're making new
Complete
characters.
stages and use element
Okay,
metals
this girl,
to
I want to play
recover
as
memory
her.
pieces.
Miss
Then
Ma'am and the Blue
analogs
Bob.
recovered memories to unlock characters. There are more than 900 stages to play.
More than
Challenging
wow, how
mechanics
many
and enemies await
stages?
on classic and new stages.
Jesus
You're bound to clash with
Christ!
familiar
How do you
bosses
make
from
that
the
many
past.
levels?
Build the ultimate hunter and save the deep log from total destruction. Mega Man X Dive Offline launches in 2023.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Now, here's the Capcom Spotlight.
Novithia! Thank you so much for the rate of 23. How are you doing?
A new era of fighting games is upon us.
Huh?
Street Fighter 6 launched on June 2nd.
Yeah,
Already
it
received
sure
an
did.
enthusiastic welcome from fighting game fans around the world. Street Fighter 6 includes World Tour, an expansive single-player story mode.
Gio, thank you for the
Fighting
follow.
Ground, the core fighting game experience made even more accessible.
Hi,
And
Freya.
Battle Hub, a social space where players from around the world can compete and hang out. These are the game's 3 main modes. In addition, we're planning to release new fighters and content, so you can enjoy the game for a long time to come.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 is out now for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Steam. Don't miss it.
And now, oh,
We also
Oh.
have an announcement for Capcom Pro Tour 2023.
oh,
This year's Capcom Pro Tour will feature Street Fighter 6, the newest entry in the series. Players from around the world will compete in regional matches and battle to be this year's champion. To celebrate the launch of Street Fighter 6, this year we have our largest prize pool ever. The total prize pool for Capcom Pro Tour is over $2 million, with $1 million going to first place. Capcom Pro Tour 2023.
So, like, what
will
if
feature
I
3
won?
types of tournaments:
so like, what if I
Online
got $1 million?
premieres, offline
I could
premieres,
win.
and World Warrior.
I could win.
The winners of each tournament.
Me and my
will advance
delusional
to the
era.
World Finals at Capcom Cup 10.
I would get 3-0'd.
Stay tuned to see which player will crush the competition and take home this year's championship.
Me. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me.
Next, we have news about Street Fighter League Pro JP 2023. In
No,
Street
honey,
Fighter
this
League,
is the
world's top players from
Capcom. This
2
is the
to 4
Capcom Game
compete in
Showcase,
official
not the
Capcom
Pro
Team
League
matches.
Showcase. Hold on.
We have the largest number of teams ever. The opening match will be held on July 7th and will be streamed live on the Capcom Fighters JP channel on YouTube and Twitch. Don't forget about the Street Fighter League World Championship 2023.
Yeah,
The
why
US
even
and
have a
European
tournament when
leagues
I
will
should be the
determine
winner?
teams that will go on to
Duh.
compete in the World Championship. Get up close and personal with Resident Evil 4 on PlayStation 5. The game's main story will be playable in
This
VR
looks
with
really
PlayStation
nice.
VR 2. Thanks to the power of PlayStation VR 2, you'll be able to experience an even more immersive version of the game.
Ah, okay. Wow.
Take aim as you fight to survive. RE4's cutting-edge knife action is a core part of the game, and the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller makes parrying even more intuitive.
Don't you guys love the creative adaptation of the VR and the Resident Evil 4 art style? Isn't it just a thing of beauty?
Exclusive to PlayStation VR 2.
Wow.
Now on to the next game in today's lineup.
Pragmata. Excuse me. I'm not pregnant, so...
Up you go. Sorry, kid. Still got a ways to go.
Space game! Oh. That was a lot. That was an amazing trailer. Can we see more? Oh. Oh.
It's almost time for Ghost Trick. Here's the latest on the game.
Hello everyone, I'm Shu Takumi.
And that's not on our bingo card, baby. I have never seen that in my 3 years of doing these live shows of these directs. I have never seen them literally be like, with heavy heart, we have to postpone this game. Oh, that actually gagged me. Gagged me more than a release date or a trailer. Oh. Damn. I think that's a cough thing, isn't it? No release date bingo.
The demo for Ghost Trick is available now for download. The story stars a lonely spirit named Cecil. In the course of solving his own murder, he will meet and
this is a remake or remaster, this game they're showing right now?
Situations. Things may seem unrelated at first, but each person plays a vital role in Cecil's story. And together, their stories will lead him to one ultimate truth. So think of the demo as a doorway, inviting you into a great big mystery.
All right, from the DS to the PC, write your remake remaster bingo cards. Okay, me and SlayMama123 have this running thing for these presentations. Me and my good friend, my good moderator over here, SlayMama123, have this running thing about Project Eve or what is it called now? That sword game for PlayStation? What is it called?
Ghost Trick will be available to so many more people around the world.
That one at the State of Play. Stellar Blade. So after seeing what Capcom just did, girl, you better duck and cover with Stellar Blade. They're about to take that and be like, with heavy heart, Stellar Blade is now delayed. Girl, they're gonna do that. They're gonna be like, ooh, we like that idea, Capcom. You kind of gagged us with that. Hold on. But I am excited for Stellar Blade, but now I'm scared they're gonna do that. Like, actually. Oh. Cut the feed.
From the creator of the Ace Attorney series, Shu Takumi, this classic mystery game is being reborn. One night, a man named Cecil loses both his memory and his life. Using
Not
the powers
Cecil.
of the dead,
Hey, Cecil.
he tries to solve the mystery of his own death. The only clue he has is a red-headed detective.
I know, I was expecting them to be like, hi, our game's coming.
A rookie detective, brimming with a sense of justice.
This looks
He
cute.
too is being targeted, and Cecil witnesses her death. Who was I? Why was I
Cecil
killed?
kind of... Oh?
Who killed me?
Don't!
What does it mean that I
Stop!
was
It's
given these
not
powers of
funny.
the dead?
When somehow they sneak Stellar
Use
Blade
the
in
powers
here,
of the dead to
and they're like,
possess and
well...
trick items. The controls are easy. Connect Sissel's glowing blue soul to the core of...
Why is he
objects
arched
to
like
possess
that,
them.
trying to take it in the butt? Oh.
Possess the tire. Possess the bowl. Possess the star ornament. You can then trick the objects you possess. Trick the guitar to play it.
I know, I feel like
What will
my
happen
chat is
when
the
you trick
only
the card?
people excited on Earth for Stellar Blade, and they won't give us any news.
Possessing
Like,
and
what is the
tricking
tea,
objects will
girl?
let you access new areas. Sissel can go back 4 minutes before someone's death. What happened before her murder? Those clues are hidden in the past. Follow
No,
past
literally,
events
they're gonna be
in
like,
real time.
rest in peace.
The limit, however, is 4 minutes. Help people avoid near-death predicaments and change their fates. Sissel will face death in many
You guys,
forms.
I've always wanted to change my fate,
Changing
and now
your
that I
fate
have
will
this
change the
game,
story.
I think we are going to have a great time. Wow. Wow.
And that story must be linked in some way to the mystery of Sissel's death. Ghost Trick, launching on June 30th, 2023.
That's actually really soon.
Demo version available now.
Shut.
Don't miss the pre-order bonuses. See the
Oh.
official website for details.
I don't. Oh, sorry. There was a cute dog, not a cute cat. Guys, that was a
Now on
dog.
to the next game in today's lineup.
Oh. It's Stellar Blade. But was it a cute cat? Oh, they're doing another Apollo game. Ace Attorney?
Objection!
Oh, he's hot. Who is he? Isn't this already a thing? This isn't a world premiere. Oh. No release date either. Oh my god. That like 2024 thing everybody
Today's
keeps
attorney,
saying.
Players serve as lawyers for the falsely accused. Battle for justice in the courtroom and uncover the truth. Now, the 4th, 5th, and 6th mainline Ace Attorney games are being brought together.
Wait,
To share
this
the
isn't
story
the
of
first,
Apollo
second, and
Justice
third.
his
This is the
allies in
4th,
dark
5th, and
age of the law.
6th.
On Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, and Steam.
What?
The colorful characters and courtroom drama of each game have been relitigated in beautiful full HD.
We are using the
Available in
word
7
world
languages:
premiere loosely.
Japanese, English, French, German, Korean, and traditional and simplified Chinese.
All of the good
Also
games are
added
at the
voice
end
recordings
of the
for the new
year.
languages.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we'll have to save it for the
There's
Nintendo
no
Direct and the
objection
State of
to
Play
everything
in
included in this collection.
November.
Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy is currently in development for release in early 2024. Please look forward to
I
more
thought you just said
information about this
2023.
collection in the future.
Wait.
Next, we have some Capcom news to share.
Am I crazy?
This month marks Capcom's 40th anniversary. As part of the celebration, we've opened a digital theme park called Capcom Town. Take a stroll through the museum to view original artwork and other materials from various titles on display. You can even play a few of Capcom's beloved classics for free.
Oh, there's something in my eye. Oh, ouch.
Head on over to the castle to cast your vote
Oh,
in the Capcom elections.
ow. Oh. I just, oh, my other eye. Oh.
So don't miss out.
Oh. Ouch.
We can't wait for everyone to enjoy these attractions. Along with the many other fun experiences we've prepared at a Capcom ID account is required to play Resident Evil RE-verse. Our new upcoming title, Exoprimal.
Oh, there's just something in my throat. There's just...
You can also use it for other Capcom services and campaigns, such as a survey about today's
Oh, it's just
Capcom
really
service.
hot in here all of a sudden. Oh.
We'll release more
Oh my
titles and
goodness.
services compatible with Capcom
Oh
ID
wow.
soon.
Oh, do you feel that, you guys?
Capcom ID.
I think I need to see a doctor.
Now for the latest on Exoprimal ahead of next month's launch.
Hello everyone, I'm Takudo Hideoka, the director of Exoprimal. I'm excited to share the latest Exoprimal news with you all. But
You know,
first,
and
let's check out
if you're a
this
cheater, and if you nope. I'm gonna keep that to myself. I was gonna say something mean.
Hello? Thought I heard activity on this frequency. Hello? My name is Garrett Silence.
Basically, the IB's godfather. He was responsible for the entire Exosuit project.
Put the microphone between the legs. Oh?
Exosuits were developed right
I need exosuits. It's our only shot. We need access to the past.
Space Game. Space Game 2.
To be picked up back in 2040. Intact and hot off the presses. The access codes to override Leviathan. You can shut it down. The whole thing.
Hyzol.
The fuel of the future.
All this time, Hyzol is a side effect of time travel? Did they just juice it out of dead dinosaurs?
At least we know why dinosaurs bleed blood. Lozol. Unrefined Lozol in the blood. A Neosaur. I mean, look at this. It's a walking glob of stuff.
I think you guys are getting some of the themes confused. Everybody just wants to get bingo. You guys see that robot right there? Cute cat sighting.
Starting with 181. That's the project code for Leviathan's core.
Okay, Doc.
Gentlemen, I didn't get your names.
Golos, the Hammerheads.
That's how it felt earlier when everybody was playing, and I was just like, guys, please.
The perfect exosuit development project is nearing fruition. Activating Massacre Module, summoning Neo T-Rex Swarm.
This is all helping to make a better exosuit.
Good hunting, Ace.
Guys, because I've always wanted a good exosuit. That's what I've been needing for my playthrough of Exoprimal coming in 2024. No release date.
The Savage Gauntlet.
Make sure you guys pre-order for that Survival Pass Season 1. Get all this loot. The battle. Yes! Yes! I'm so excited they're adding a battle pass! Woo! Yeah!
What did you think? That was a lot of new info. Before we dive in, I'd like to give a huge thanks to all the players who participated.
Dive into
in the
what?
Beta test back in March.
No. We can move
We were
on.
extremely pleased to have so many participants.
No. We can.
Plus,
No.
you gave us a lot of
Not
invaluable
dive in. No. We're gonna move on to the next panel.
While only portions of the Dino survival content
No,
were made
it's
available for
okay.
the open beta test, Today, we'll be introducing more content included in the full game.
No,
Let's
no,
take a look
no.
at what you can expect when
No, we
Exoprimal
saw-
launches
no.
on July 14th.
It's we
Let's
have
start with the
other
story.
stuff to
Ace,
show.
The game's protagonist is transported
We have
to the
other
year
stuff to
2040
show. I'm looking
and
at
forced
my
to
watch.
participate in a never-ending series of war games. The
No,
story
we just saw
unfolds
this in
as
the
you play through
trailer.
Dino
We
Survival,
no.
the game's main
No.
mission, gathering intel to
No,
update
it,
the
that no,
analysis
that's
map,
not.
unravels the mysteries
No.
surrounding parallel worlds. And
We
the
just
AI
watched
entity known
this.
as Leviathan.
Have the like incels
times,
digest
players
all
will
this
also
info in
engage
their
in special
aftermath
boss
show.
battles as part of the main story.
No,
Dino
no.
Survival mode will also change as the story progresses.
No, we don't have to dive
You'll
in. No,
unlock
it's
new missions
okay.
with a variety of objectives, including 10-player co-op, a multitude of dinosaurs to fight, and more maps. The game will also feature an assortment of unlockables
All right.
and challenges.
So we're actually in front of a live audience today. So let me hear the audience applause. We have an in studio. Yep, everybody's here. Everybody's here in the studio today. Everybody say hi.
You can also personalize your
Yep, live studio audience. Now I just want to ask the audience right here over next to me, this live audience. Who is excited for Exoprimal Dinosaur Capcom game? Clap if you're excited.
Around the world for the fastest completion times, or by earning awards through achievements, like most damage block with a tank suit.
Oh, I heard one clap in the back. Oh, is that you?
To enjoy the game,
Who is that over there?
main story.
Come to the front. Oh my God, it's friend of the pod. Slay Mama 123. Oh my gosh, you are excited for this game, aren't you? Tell us how excited you are for Exoprimal.
Instead of direct combat with other players. We hope you look forward to that. Now, let's go over all the new info we just saw in the video. Who was that new face at the beginning?
That's really interesting. Oh.
Meet Dr. Science, the developer of the exosuits.
Girl, what? Stop! We don't have to.
Research group based on Bikitoa Island.
We have a couple minutes, please. Please.
A space elevator that extends from the Division research facility into orbit.
I can't end this weekend with this. Capcom, please. Show Poison from Street Fighter. Show us anything. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Players will even encounter dangerous mutations of dinosaurs.
Oh my God, aren't they showing something else we already know?
Most deadly among them being the Neo T-Rex.
Oh my God.
You'll need to work together with your team to stand a chance at taking
Oh my God.
Oh no, is that a swarm of Neo T-Rexes? What are Leviathan's true intentions? Wait, what's the deal with this new exosuit? While it may look similar to Deadeye, this exosuit
Not the
is a
Ubisoft
variant
presentation.
called Deadeye Burst Fire.
Who said that? Is that someone in the live studio audience that said that?
Comes equipped with a weapon that can burst fire.
I think that was Lip Bear in the audience over there that said that. Did you? Lip Bear, please keep it down. No comments from the peanut gallery.
Including Deadeye Alpha, will be added in a title update following the full version's release. At the end of the video, we revealed Savage Gauntlet, a mode that lets you take on special 5-player missions that change
A little rambunctious.
In this mode, players can enjoy a change of pace from Dino Survival by competing against exo fighters from all over the world for the fastest completion time. More info about exosuit variants and Savage Gauntlet will be revealed at the Xbox Games Showcase Extended.
What?
Be
No,
sure to tune in.
I think that already happened,
And
Gorge.
last but not least, we're excited to announce that we'll be holding a second open beta test. This time, we're including additional story-related missions, 10-player co-op missions, and other adjustments based on everyone's feedback. Check out the official website for dates and times. We hope you're all excited to try out this new content. Players will also receive a new reward for participating. Don't miss out.
Oh my God, respectfully, please just stop talking.
We'll continue to make adjustments to Exoprimal, leading up to the game's launch on July 14th. Thank you again for all the feedback. We look forward to seeing you in the second open beta test. That's all we have for you today.
Oh, thank God.
See you in the War Games. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Next up is the last title we'll be showing off today.
Hi everyone, my name is Hideaki Itsuno, and I'm the director of Dragon's Dogma 2. It's been over a year since we celebrated 10 years of Dragon's Dogma, and I can finally give you some more information about the new game. First, let's take a look at the trailer we revealed the other day.
Does anyone want to do shots?
You do not remember? Then have you forgotten that you protected me from the dragon's flames?
You need only believe in your own destiny, Arisen.
Of course. That begs the question. If he's a mere mammoth, then where might our true Arisen?
Empress Nadinia's life is in your hands, Sir Arisen.
I have Pink Whitney. Not if I pay a $60 entry. Girl, the circuit party gays, they really pay $60 for an entry ticket just to sit around, be shirtless, and do absolutely fucking nothing. $60. Oh. Yeah, of course you are. Girl, I'm 25 almost. I can drink anywhere the fuck I want to. Ain't nobody bossing me around.
That is most unfortunate, but it doth not release thee from thy fate.
Well, it would be a world premiere if we didn't see this 4 days ago, but how wonderfully camp.
What did you think? The action RPG game
You don't want to know what I
Dogma
hear.
was released in 2012. Now, a decade later, I'm proud to share a look at the highly anticipated sequel, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Can we have sex in this game?
Today I want to talk about two
Like
characteristics
what? Like
that Dragon's Dogma
why
2
don't we
will
have more
inherit from its predecessor.
penis, tits, ass,
Dragon's
and
Dogma
cock
2 will be a single-player game,
and
but with
balls
pawns at your side, it will feel
in video
like co-op.
games? Give me
And
sex.
second, gameplay will
Hardcore
feature
butt
action role-playing mechanics
sex.
set in an open-world environment. In the Dragon's Dogma series, you embark on
Dragon
adventures
Age had
with
no.
pawns.
Witcher had it a little bit because that girl liked to fuck on a horse.
Alongside the player-controlled Arisen, you can embark on your journey with a main pawn that can be customized to your liking.
See, we'll see if the bingo. We'll see who's really what's what. If y'all fill out your bingo cards and you say cute cat sighting.
Controlled by the AI.
Oh,
and are now
trust.
capable of even more
You want to be
precise decisions
exposed?
than in the previous title, helping you in the midst of battle. They can also help guide you to new locations. Or give you a high five following a
Douching
successful
side
battle.
quest.
It really feels like playing in a party with other players. Dragon's Dogma 2 is built with the RE engine, resulting in a dense world woven with high graphical fidelity. You'll enjoy a world roughly 4 times
Do
the
you
size
guys
of the
think there's gonna be a
original
surprise at the
Dragon's
end, or do you think they're gonna say, let's wrap it up? I will literally gag if they don't. If they literally say, that's all we've had time for, I'm literally gonna be mouth agape shocked.
And players will feel like they've been reborn in this vibrant fantasy world. You can look forward to a variety of vocations to choose from. Your vocation will shape your Arisen's role throughout the adventure. Will you take on enemies with swords? Magic? It's all up to you. We'll have much more to share in the future. But for now, I want to go over a few sections from the trailer that show what we've improved for Dragon's Dogma 2. This game is designed to enable players to take on situations in their own way. In addition to AI, advanced technology like immersive physics brings pawns,
They'll announce me as
monsters, and
DLC in the
NPCs to
super
life.
model RuPaul game.
What would happen if you destroyed that bridge, or if you pulled that monster's leg? What other exciting possibilities can you think of? meet two characters pivotal.
No,
to
this
the
looks
story.
good. I'm just
They
gagged
also
that there was
appear in
like
the
such a
game's
lack
key
of like premieres in this because I feel like everybody was really excited for this showcase.
And Nadinia, a high priestess of the Beast Ring, which appear in the series for the first time. What destiny awaits? How will they affect your fate? The intricate relationships and situations you will encounter in the game are sure to keep you on your toes.
Because it was like a 40-minute show, but like it feels like we only saw 2
You will come
games.
across familiar monsters from the previous game, as well as new monsters such as Medusa. You can
I'm excited
look
for
forward
like
to
I'll
new
play
player
it.
vocations and many new experiences unique to Dragon's Dogma 2. Please stay tuned for more information. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Guys, we have hope.
Dragon's Dogma 2 will be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Steam. And now, a quick look at the Capcom 40th Anniversary sale. Kicking things off, we have well-known titles, such as Dragon's Dogma and the Ace Attorney series. Don't miss this opportunity to pick up a few of Capcom's most influential hits at some great prices. To celebrate, we're also offering a limited-time bundle of some of Capcom's major titles on Steam. That wraps up today's Capcom Showcase. Thank you for watching. We're always working on new games and updates, and we hope you're as excited as we are for Capcom's 40th anniversary. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Capcom Showcase post-show. I'm Andy, I'm on the community team at Capcom, and with me today we have Joe. Also
What do you
on the
have to
community team,
talk about?
And we have Nico. Nico, do you want to introduce yourself?
There wasn't anything to show.
I'm a Capcom creator.
Wait, you're a Capcom creator? Wait, why wasn't I invited? Excuse
so
me?
We just got done with the Capcom Showcase.
We're inviting
What was everyone's
Capcom
favorite
creators,
part
but
in the
I
chat?
didn't
Let
get a
us know.
booking?
I think mine.
Excuse you. Anyway. So how's everybody's bingo cards? We rewatched the Stellar Blade trailers. Oh wow. Should we okay, let me take away from this screen because I don't, oh my god, we're about to get so gagged. The chat is spamming L. Well, sorta kinda. Okay, so should we go through let's go through the shows over the weekend and rate which ones were the best and worst, I guess? Not Gentle Rain for 4 hours. I will start falling asleep. Can I get some hype music, please? Okay, well, I'm just gonna turn on my Spotify, so let's go through. That's a lot of emotion for that Bridianetta. I think it looks like a great game. That's also a thing. That's all. I don't know where that storyline comes from because that's like the same people that are saying like, well, you didn't spill. Nothing spilled. I actually have paper towels here to clean it up for you because in the sense that like literally anytime anybody says that, it's like the flip side of the coin. It's like the conversation about Mortal Kombat 9 when people are like, okay, Mortal Kombat 9 was misogynistic and like really sexualized the women. I'm like, well, some women like to be represented as girl boss, fierce women with their tits out and slutty, because that's like that's what I love about being a woman. But then the other side of the coin is that I don't know. I'm not gonna go by chat unless you have receipts, because earlier we were saying things in the chat and they weren't true. So I'm just gonna, you know. Put on my Spotify. So, over the weekend, we had... Let's go to the Summer Games page.